Welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. In the last episode, we made it here to Tal Methedras. This is where the Falcon clan are making preparations for war against Sauron, and we've been helping them make some preparations. Let's get right back into it.
I need more dye if this armor is to bear the mark of the Falcon.
I have been working as quickly as I can to fashion armor from leather that Roose prepares, but it is time-consuming work. It is important that the armor be strong, but it must also bear the mark of the Falcon. Our enemies quail when they know who it is they fight, and Saruman will be no different. My stock of the dye used to mark the finished armor with the mark of the Falcon is low. Can you pick up some red plants along the lakeside here in Tal Methedras? Bring me several handfuls of their leaves so that we can grind more of the dye. Okay. Let me remove this from the tracker. And then, yeah, let me run the apples back. I probably should have used my forced march before I did that, but oh well. I'll make it there in time, no worries. I don't remember where I'm going, though. I think it's up this hill. Oh, I need to reforge. No, not here. Where am I going? Aw, man, I don't know where I'm going. I'm lost. Maybe over here. Maybe. No. Well, I guess there's no timer, so I can be talking to these.
Perhaps you do have things to teach us in the ways of combat.
I'm listening.
There may be value in the martial training you can provide for us after all.
I want you to challenge some of our most experienced fighters, mastering the martial arts, so that they may learn from your skills from the north. Look for Mostun, Gaenor, and Kenned, and Morva, and fight each of them. They will learn your skills. Mary looks thoughtful for a moment. Actually, fight only Mostun and Gaenor. Kenned has not been seen for some days. I think he may be out on a hunt. Right. Let me get rid of this. You know what? Let me put... Let me set this as the tracker. As the focus. It's to the south. Is there a reforger around here somewhere? I don't know. That would be helpful. It's not that big of a deal though, I guess. There we go.
Thank you for bringing me those apples. I will prepare them for travel.
While I do that, you can bring this empty basket back to your ranger friend in the orchard. When you see him, ask if he has collected the fallen apple wood branches I asked him to gather. I will need them to smoke some of the meats the warriors will bring south. Alright. Well, before I do that, let me fight this guy.
I doubt there is anything in the north we have not seen in Dunland.
Let's see what you can teach me about combat, Kip, and I doubt there is anything in the north that we have not seen in Dunland. It is time. Teach you some gambits. Thank you for the training. It was very instructive. You have defeated Mostyn. No, wait. I wanted to use my forced march. There you go. That'll make things a little bit faster. Do I even have any run speed stuff? That'll be helpful too. Why not do that? Try not to break my legs. Running pretty fast.
You are back already? Oh, I see.
Deer nods and beckons at you. You have returned already? Oh, I see. Yes, I did gather some of the applewood branches for Adele. You can bring some of them to her now if you like. Lots of running back and forth on this one. That's alright. Let's just get this quest out of the way and then we can focus on some of the other ones. I just wish there was a forge master around here so I could reforge. Oh man, my recording is not doing too well. It's not really recording in 60 frames. It's a little laggy. Where am I going with this? Down there. I went too far. I went up the wrong slope is what I did. Wait a minute, I'm so confused. It's fine. I'll just come up through here. This works too. Adele smiles as you arrive with the armful of wood.
Thank you for bringing me these branches. Their smoke will do nicely.
You can throw them on the fire if you like.
I have many more preparations to make, but it is a start. I thank you for it.
Well done, I have many more preparations to make before we will have enough food for the warriors of the Falcon Clan, but it is a start and I thank you for it. Okay, excellent. So done with that one. Let me remove that real quick. Let me head out and do some of the other ones. Collect some plants. Get some of the toads. Grab a few of these. And I'll take the bow because that'll get me a little closer to the toads. Where am I at? Yeah. Let me go this way. Man, look at that thing. What the hell is that? I don't know what that is, but I want to kill it. Should be toads around here. There they are. So he wants me to scrape some of the stuff. Scrape residue off their backs. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but they're in certain parts of the world, particularly South America, there are certain toads in which people that want to go to another dimension scrape the poison off their back into glass slides and let them dry out, and that way they can get a pure form of something called DMT, which is a very psychedelic drug, I guess, and some of these frogs can produce them as residue on their back. But anyways, that's besides the point. So I'm just wondering what this guy is wanting all this toad residue for. Maybe he wants to go on a trip. Let me grab one more plant and then I can take that boat back. Alright. Where am I at? Right over here. Perfect. Oh, that lag. Crazy.
Toad residue? Ah, there it is. Let's see how potent it is.
Before he can stalk him, Iwan sticks out his tongue and licks the residue. Suddenly his eyes cross and he turns a pale shade of green. It is just what we need. A coating of this on our weapons will do great harm to the disloyal clans. Find our healer, Melona. Ask her to make something that will cure me. She is in the village. What a wacky guy.
Take the plants to my grinding stone and grind them into a fine powder.
These are the plants I asked for, Kippen? Good. Take them to my grinding stone over there and grind the leaves into a fine powder. It will provide the color the dye requires.
Yeah, this is just the right shade for our purposes.
Use it to mark the leather armor. I have nearly finished with the claw of the falcon. Where is it at? Oh, right here. Perfect. You draw a passable falcon's claw on the armor.
That sign will drive fear into any of the other clans that try to fight us.
That is an acceptable falcon's claw, Kippen. This will drive fear into any of the clans that try to fight us. Thank you for the help you have been today. I will not forget it. Okay. Let me go up this hill. There were a few quest rings over that way.
Ewan is a fool and always has been. Never taste the poison you make.
Melona sighs. There is a root that grows at the base of the trees along the shores of the lake here in Tal Mithadris. I have some of it in my stock. When grounded into a powder, it can cure most digestive ailments. Melona digs around in one of her pouches tied to her waist and produces some of the powder. Give this to Iwan. He should start to feel better.
You are the first halfling I have seen. What strange times we live in.
Melona laughs nervously. I hope you do not think me rude to say so, but your appearance is most curious to my eyes and those of my fellows. We have seen dwarves, of course. They're a little different even than that folk. Perhaps, if you were to share some stories of your people and your homeland with the more distrustful members of my clan, they would be put at ease, good halfling. I'm speaking of Guyana and Olwen, who expressed their concerns to me when you arrived. You will find them here in Tur Morva.
Prepare yourself.
What is there that you can show me that I have not already seen? Well, let us find out. Prepare yourself. Show me what you can do. A good battle. I have learned much. Thank you. Talk to this guy here.
Someone has been sneaking around the far shore of the lake at night.
I do not like it, Kippen. Someone has been sneaking around the far shore of the lake under the cover of night. It is not one of my people, and I do not think it is one of yours either. I'm not as spry as I used to be when I was young. I cannot track this unwelcome guest, but perhaps you can. Go to the far side of the lake and look for the footprint of this intruder. That may tell me something I can use. Kill the Avank while you are there and bring me their jaws. I have an idea.
Thank you for sparring with Mostun and Gainor. Let Saruman tremble.
I have heard that they are both a chatter with excitement about your northern fighting skills. They will refine those arts and perhaps become even more deadly than before. You have already become a great help to the Falcon clan. Let Saruman tremble. Okay. We're making good progress here. Go up this way and see what happens. Haven't really been up here. Some more quest rings.
What do you know of the hunt?
What do you know of the hunt, Kippen? I have been the greatest hunter of the Hebog Luth for many summers, but it was not always so. When I was a boy, I wandered far and wide in search of the greatest prey I could master, but I searched in vain. Finally, I came to a clearing in trees, and amid the brilliance of a noontime sun, I beheld a mighty figure. He was many times the height of a normal man, and it seemed that he wore a great antlered helm. I was beneath his notice. He turned to gaze between the trees, and even as I complicated, the great huntsman was gone. I have never found that clearing again, though I sought it. I fashioned this charm in the shape of the wood, and every time I go out for the hunt, I carry it with me. I give it to you now. Defeat creatures in Tal Methedras, and each one will add to the legacy of this charm. Its legend will make me stronger when I bear it south against the armies. Interesting. So we got some pocket items. That one might be nice. 193 agility. I don't know. Look at that 841 physical mastery rating on the one I have right now, though. Anyways, I don't have to make that decision just yet. So it sounds like you definitely met the huntsman, who we ourselves met in Enid. Okay. I think I can read all this. Let me tell you about hobbits. You explain that hobbits are a peace-loving people fond of big dinners and comfort, and only rarely embark on adventures. You are careful to point out to Gwyna that though you are a rare exception, you are still a hobbit and have not forgotten your home and friends. Well, that is admirable, he says, and is a trait the Falcon clan holds in high regard. Our bounders keep the peace. You explain to Gwyna about the safety of the Shire and how it's ensured by the bounders who walk the boundaries to keep them peace. Gwyna is not surprised to learn that you joined the bounders and did quite a lot to help the Shire keep the Shire safe. I can think of no ruffians to cause you trouble, he says. The mail always goes through. As you describe to Gwyna the state of the quick post service in the Shire, your feet ache with the memory of running those mail satchels from village to village. Gwyna is especially surprised by your account of the numerous nosy hobbits you found it necessary to avoid. They came just right up and bothered you? Did they not realize your honor was at stake, he asks. You respond that they just wanted to know the news. Other hobbits have come this way. You tell Gwyna the tale of J.R.R. who had an unfortunate habit of sneaking into wagons, one of which journeyed very long away into the southern lands. Gwyna looks thoughtful as you speak of the road man J.R.R. described to you. I think that the man may have been Saruman, he exclaims, and you say that seems possible. Hobbits can get up to mischief. There are many examples of hobbit mischief making, but you decide to share with Gwyna the story of how Isambard and Imbert, wanting to play a trick on Andalur Took, hid the chapter he wrote for the yearbook of the Tuckborough in a tree. When they went to retrieve it, the branch broke and it was stuck up there. Gwyna smiles at that, but his chuckles turn into guffaws when you recount that their efforts to knock down the satchel out of the tree with the stones. Isambard first disturbed the beehive, and once the bees were gone, the fallen hive proved to be a good lure for bears. It sounds as though they had everything in hand. Gwyna says with a laugh, his fears of hobbits thoroughly gone. So if you remember, those are all stories from the very first season of this playthrough when we were in the Shire. Very interesting. We talked about the hobbits and how we joined the bounders and prevented some of the troubles in the Shires, and if you remember all the mail delivery quests here, and then of course the two little hobbits playing by the tree was one of the quests as well.
You're a halfling? Why are you so small?
Guyana looks at you warily, his face a mask of curiosity and fear. You're a halfling? Why are you so small? He turns a bright shade of red, and you decide to diffuse his embarrassment with tales of the Shire. Alright, let's keep going. Is there really nowhere to reforge here? That's kind of frustrating. Alright, so there are more stories I can tell here. Let me tell you about the Shire. You explained that the Shire is a green land far to the north, with rich farmland and beautiful rolling hills, where hobbits have made their home for years beyond memory. You described the 4 farthings of the Shire, and Owen seems particularly interested in the pipeweed fields of the South Farthing. Perhaps I will come visit there one day, she says. The outside world can creep in. You tell Owen that despite the work of the Bounders, sometimes the outside world manages to sneak a toe inside the Shire without invitation. She seems very concerned by your account of the dwarf Olwer, who sought to capture the stone troll in the Rushock Bog and gift it to his allies in the north. They would not have dared such a thing in this land, she says. Lo Brennan would not have allowed it. Her exclamation brings to mind Mayor Whitfoot, and you wonder briefly what Lo Brennan would make of Old Flour Dumpling. You remember some of these quests as well. Over at the bog in the north part of the Shire, there was that dwarf that wanted to get the stone troll. And then our little Flour Dumpling Mayor, of course, in the Shire. We hobbits certainly like our jokes. We try to think up of a good example of hobbit humor and decide to tell the story of Fogo Followhide, who dressed up in a black cloak at night to try his very hardest to haunt Odovacar Bulger's farm by night. You can't seem to be very frightening, she says, carefully, and the two of you share a laugh. That was also a quest we did in the first season, if you remember. One of the farmers was worried that a ring wraith was hurting his wolves, but it was actually just Fogo Followhide dressed up. Things are not always as they seem. Owen nods as you tell her that things are not always as they seem, especially not hobbits, who are made of sterner stuff than you might expect. You tell her about the one time in the Great Smiles that they were haunted by the ghost of the old Took. Really? She asked, quite alarmed. It was a real ghost? No, you respond. It was a squirrel. I hope all of you certainly remember that quest from the Shire. We always help out our neighbors. You tell Owen that the hobbits are always quick to help out their neighbors, such as the time you went in search of Old Sally for Belko Brockhouse. Who's Old Sally? Owen asks. It sounds like a good name for a horse or a pony. You chuckle and tell her that Old Sally was actually a pig, though she had the appetite of a horse. I remember that quest fondly as well.
How do we know you are what you say you are?
Owen looks at you distrustfully. How do we know you are what you say you are? Hobbit? I have never heard of hobbits before. How do we know you are not in league with Saruman? You decide that Owen might be more accepting if you tell her tales of the Shire. Okay. Let's go turn in some quests.
Thank you for showing them that halflings are not to be feared.
Thank you for speaking with Guyana and Owen, Kippen. I know that your stories have helped them show them that halflings are not a people to be feared. Penrod, the first Brehur of Lo Brennan, was looking to speak with you. He is here in Tor Morva. I'm actually going to head out this way for now. And I guess let me go give the antidote to that poor guy who's dying of poison overdose. Probably the appropriate thing to do.
Oh, I feel terrible. Isn't that wonderful?
Owen accepts the powder that Melona gave to you, and in a few moments his color begins to return. Ah, thank you, Kippen. I think that tells us everything we need to know. Coating the weapons of the Falcon clan with this toad residue will cause our enemies some real distress. I would normally not resort to poison, but the clans that side with Saruman are Dunlendings no longer. They do not deserve mercy, and I feel no regret wielding poison weapons against them. Okay. Done with that. And then let me find that boat. Okay, and what am I doing over here again? Killing some of those. Hold on, let me wait for this lag to dissipate a little. I don't know what's going on with that. It's kind of frustrating. I guess I can grab some toads as well, because I'm gonna need more creatures than I need the jaws. Okay, let me examine the footprints here. Footprints appear to have been made by someone not wearing shoes. Let me kill one more creature. Find a set of footprints in the western side. So over there. You find a set of shallow footprints in the mud. Okay. So let me go back. Where am I headed? Up here. Okay. Should be able to turn these in.
That was fast. Did you find any sign of the intruder?
Windfor listens as you describe the footprints you found on the far side of the lake. He nods. Those sound like women's feet, Kippen. Some woman is creeping around in the dark, and she does not want to be found. If she is not one of ours, then she is not one of yours. Then she's an enemy. Hand me those Avonk jaws.
I'll take this string and stretch it here and here.
Windfor works for a few moments, then is satisfied. Aye, this will do. See, I have made Avonk jaw trap. It will shut on the leg of its unsuspecting prey, and this intruder will find it much more difficult to evade capture. Let me make a few more, and alright, I will give you these traps. Set them there in the vicinity of those footprints you found, and we will see if this unwelcome intruder strays into the trap. Use the bundle of traps and return to me. Okay, excellent. Let me get rid of this for now. Okay, well, we're going to continue helping the Falcon clan here, but we will do so in the next episode, so thanks for watching, and see you next time.